I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree.
Well, the central place of the forests in our history and literature has resonated all week in the argument over who should own their thousands of acres in England. Even metropolitan media types wondered at their magic as they padded through the leaves in electric blue anoraks, seeking out woody locals bodging in the background. I went to meet Dave the Bard, a druid from Sussex, to look at the allure of the forest and the pull of the tree line.
We're going into Wilmington Churchyard now, and as you can see here, you have in the churchyard a massive ancient yew tree being held up by posts. I mean, if the posts weren't there, it may well have fallen by now. There was talk some time ago that yew trees like this could be between 3,000 and 5,000 years old. I think that's changed now, but you're still looking at a 1,500-year-old tree.
13, 14, 15... Roughly 15 seconds to walk round the base.
What the yew tree does, as it gets older, so these branches all around will start reaching down into the earth. And one of them, or many of them, will then touch the earth. And that branch will grow roots. And then eventually the branch that took it to the ground will break off, and you'll be left with a circle of fresh saplings around this giant massive tree, all of which are part of its own DNA. What you've got with that image is everlasting life. What you've got with that image is rebirth and death. Well, why do you think it's in the graveyard?
Hello.
Hello there.
Just spotted the church warden. What's your name?
Clive Jones. I'm not actually a church warden, I'm a deputy church warden.
Do you think it's a bit pagan to have such a famous tree in your churchyard? Because it's almost a rival attraction.
Is it really? What do you mean a rival attraction? Are you saying that people come here to look at the tree rather than the church? I think while they're here, they ask about the tree just as you heard, but I don't think that is the main attraction. Because Dave, who's here, my friend with me, is a druid, and he does appreciate the tree in a spiritual way.
I have to say, before you start some pagan Christian thing going on here, that I also appreciate the church. Okay, there's no rivalry here, and it's, and we're basically walking up the same mountain, just using different routes, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, the tree was probably here before the church.
Dave the Bard and I say our goodbyes to the churchyard and head to a nearby forest. We're watched by a crow the size of a Jack Russell.
And so if you look around here, we're in Abbots Wood in Sussex. We're surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of trees in a nice big acre woodland. And there's an old Celtic tale that is called the Battle of the Trees, or the Battle of Ochren, or in Welsh, the Catgoddai. And this poem was Tolkien's inspiration for the Ents and that part in the Lord of the Rings where all of the trees come to life.
In Tolkien, as the orcs are pursuing the travellers through the woods in the Lord of the Rings, they take refuge in the branches of the trees from the orcs. Mm-hmm. And the orcs set fire to the trees. Yeah. So as they climb up, they're then saved by the eagles and the trees die. And it's seen as a sort of allegory in a way that the tree at first gives protection but also sacrifices itself by the end of that story.
Yeah, which is very much the human's relationship with the tree. The tree stands there, it doesn't seem to do anything, but it gives us the air we breathe. In the past, it's given us our boats, it's given us our houses. They're vastly important. And to me, it's hypocritical, I think, for us to view our forests as potentially dispendable and then point to Brazil and tell them off for destroying the rainforest. If you just stand in here, I don't know, but I can feel although there are thousands of trees around us, it's almost like there's a consciousness of the woodland, which is one thing, which is like the overriding spiritual consciousness of the wood.
Is it like for you being in an audience, if you stand here?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've just been to Wilmington Yew. Well, that's my church, but this is my cathedral.
And that's why you often put it into song,
Yes.
and why you reach back to 2,000-year-old odes.
One of the old bardic traditions is to teach through song and story. And what I did is took the poems and the meanings of each tree in order of the Ogham, which is the old alphabet that it formed, and put it into a song called The Greenwood Grove.
I am the birch of the new beginning, the rowan star with magic guarding, all the sight the future showing, the sweet willow sees her moon rising,